Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all doing well. Have you seen this? Rio Ferdinand has basically nearly gone and broken the internet by saying the Qatar takeover of Manchester United is imminent. Yes, he's gone as far as saying it's imminent, it's happening, it's on. Is it? Who knows who his source is, but right now, everyone is believing that story from Rio Ferdinand. We've also got a little bit of an update on Kim Min-jae, who's been linked with Manchester United, and plenty more stuff as well as the Premier League fixtures being announced for the new season. Yes, it's 15th of June. We've still got like 2 months to go to the new season, but the fixtures are already out. So we'll be having a look at a few of those as well. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. Please do me a favor. Help me hit 150,000 subs by hitting that subscribe button. They'll have almost daily content here on the channel, and whenever there is breaking news just like this, we will bring it to you here. So make sure you're keeping it locked by hitting that subscribe button. As I said, Rio Ferdinand has gone and broken the internet by reporting that the Qatar takeover is imminent. He says from a five perspective, from a Rio Ferdinand perspective, he goes on to say they believe and they have been told, they are hearing, he's turned into Jim White, hasn't he, that the Qatar takeover of Manchester United is, and I quote, imminent, and that is the bid that has been successful. But he then goes on to say in the same video, please let it be true. So surely if he's going to stand by his source, stand by the fact that this is a 5 and a Vibe exclusive, or whatever it was that he said, then surely you don't at the end of it go, please let it be true. But we do know that Rio Ferdinand was also, you know, ahead of pretty much everybody else in the Cristiano Ronaldo thing. Although the Cristiano Ronaldo transfer, he clearly has a more personal relationship with Cristiano Ronaldo. Therefore, it'd be much easier for him to get information out on those kind of things. Now, of course, Rio Ferdinand will have links in the game. He will have people that will tell him things, whether they're true or not, and it's whether he believes them or not. Obviously, he feels like he believes them enough to tell the world that this is happening and this is imminent. And we have heard rumours over the last couple of days, you know, pretty much saying so. Although we did have that issue where one of the Qatar media Twitter accounts retweeted like a fake report, like from one of those fake in the know Twitter accounts, which said that the Qataris were going to... And that made you think, like, if they're retweeting those kind of accounts, where's this information coming from? But then you get this following it up and kind of Rio Ferdinand coming out and saying it's happening. Now, look, Rio Ferdinand has probably... I know how kind of these things happen because we get told things sometimes. And it's like, I very rarely get told things and then say it on a camera. Because I'm not Fabrizio Romano, you know what I mean? I don't want to be putting my credibility, or I don't want to basically become an in the know. That's not what I want to become. But I know people tell people things. It's whether you believe them or not. It's whether you know, and Rio's probably gone, look, I believe them. It could be credible. It could be about to happen. But if it doesn't, it still benefits my channel. I still, you know, that the video still does well and all those kind of things. So you have to take it with a pinch of salt. But Rio Ferdinand isn't going to just say these things because he feels like it. You know what I mean? He's not Jim White. He's not one of those journalists. He's not like he needs it. But I would take it with a little bit of a pinch of salt. Nevertheless, the noise is getting louder and louder and louder that the Qataris are about to take over Manchester United. Which, if it was to happen, look, I'd be delighted to get rid of the Glazers. And I know the Jim Ratcliffe offer wasn't perfect, you know, and being owned by a petrochemicals giant isn't perfect. But I'll tell you that I told you this about Man City, told you this about Newcastle, and I'll say it again now. I don't want to be state-owned. I never have done. I never will do. Now, obviously, the new owners, whoever they are, could come and bring benefits. You know, they could benefit the area. They could benefit the club. They could, you know, be better in terms of the transfer market. All these different things. Maybe Man United will be more successful. But I just don't think Manchester United need to be state-backed. We don't need state ownership. And you also have, you know, with the very real issues that we've seen, you know, you look at Chelsea's being owned by Roman Abramovich, you know, once the UK government fell out with Russia, fell out with, you know, people from that part of the world, Chelsea are then up in the air. Anyone can get you. It's a scramble, a free-for-all between all the hedge funds. That's a very real possibility for Manchester United if we become state-owned. And you can say, oh yeah, well, Qatar own Harrods and all these different things, so it's very unlikely that their relationship with Britain and their relationship with the British government will change. Well, the Russians had, similar dealings in London, similar relationships, and those are now gone. So, it could bring further issues, even more so than the sport washing further down the line. Although I don't want my club to be used for sports washing. But here we are, fans are powerless to do it. Whether you want them or you don't want them, you're powerless in this because the Glazers will simply take the highest bid. That's all they care about and that's all they want. And fucking hate the Glazers, man. They've taken 1.5 billion out of this club. They're going to be walking away with 5, 6, who knows how much money between them. They make me sick, and I will be delighted to see the back of them, but it's not an ideal situation, is it? It's not an ideal situation at all. But Rio Ferdinand is saying it's imminent. Right, we also had the fixtures released today. Wolverhampton at home is our first game. Now, check this out. Our first 2 away games are Tottenham away and Arsenal away. Now, we could catch Spurs nice and early, under Ange Postecoglou, although that'll probably be their first home game, and therefore it could be a difficult one. You've then got Arsenal away as well. So we've got some very difficult games to open up. Burnley away is our 3rd away game. And in between all those games I've mentioned, you've got Wolves at home to start off, Forest at home to start off, Brighton at home, and Palace at home. We do have Man City on the 28th of October as well. And the running at the end of the season, our final 7 games, Chelsea away, Liverpool at home, Bournemouth away, Newcastle at home, 8 games, Burnley at home, Palace away, Arsenal at home, and Brighton away. Could win the league at home against Arsenal, 21 is coming and all that. But those are some of the fixtures, and you can obviously get the full fixture list on Manchester United's website. Bayern Munich, we hear from Damasio, are in the race for Kim Min-jae. Now, we've heard in regards to Kim Min-jae, Manchester United are willing to pay his release clause. His release clause will be active between July the 1st and the middle of July, I think it's the 15th or something like that. And we hear Kim Min-jae has agreed terms with Manchester United and wants that move to happen. The reports in Italy are pretty much dead cert that's going to happen. And now we hear Damasio come in and say, Bayern Munich are now front seat for Kim Min-jae with talks in progress. Bayern are willing to pay his release clause. Now, I think Damasio is very, very credible, so there's no reason why this can't be true. But I wouldn't completely discount United out of it, because it could be a simple case that United have told Kim Min-jae will sign him when his release clause is active between July the 1st and July the 15th. We've agreed potential terms with him. Those things happen in football. He could also know that Manchester United are in a position where the takeover is happening. We've got to sell Harry Maguire, all those kind of things. So his agents and his representatives are well within reason to be speaking to other clubs, because who knows what happens with Manchester United further down the line. So it wouldn't surprise me if they've spoken to both clubs. And maybe one could be a backup, maybe Bayern Munich's a backup, who knows. But I wouldn't completely discount Manchester United out of it. Although it's not great signs once you hear Bayern Munich are interested in someone, because they're pretty shrewd with their transfer business. And the longer this takeover stuff does drag on, the more difficult it's going to be for Manchester United to do business. But anyway, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you're keeping it locked. If there's any more breaking news, we'll be back very, very soon. Until next time, I've been AdamMcKola. Out of here.